You are filling out your resonance worksheet as I go through different resonance lists. So for the first one, what is the definition of resonance? Objects have a natural frequency. A frequency is the number of cycles per second. When something vibrates at a natural frequency, it causes the object to vibrate with maximum amplitude. It is a standing wave. It basically means that two waves are interacting to make a superposition, all good vocabulary words, that add together with constructive interference. Maximum amplitude. So I'm going to show you a bunch of clips of resonance. But this example of a person swinging, this is something you all have done at a playground as a kid. And it's kind of intuitive to understand resonance when you're swinging on a swing. Because you have this understanding that if you swing your body in the same kind of frequency as the swing itself, you're going to go higher and higher and higher and higher. And if you're like most kids, you're going to jump off at the highest point, right? But that's what resonance is. You're creating the exact same frequency of the swing itself using the frequency of motion. It's a pendulum with your legs and even your upper body as you move it backward and forward. So that's what we call a natural frequency of different objects, and all objects have a different natural frequency. So swinging is your first example. The source of vibration is your legs. The effect is a maximum swing, or in a pendulum like this, a maximum amplitude. So let me dim the lights a bit. Not that you need to see a clip of swinging, but all right. So you've got the source of vibration is your legs, and the maximum amplitude is the height of your swing. The next one, I'm actually going to skip Bouncing Baby. I don't think it's that entertaining. But is that good? You want to see Bouncing Baby? Okay, fine. We'll do Bouncing Baby. Let's bounce with Baby. It's cute, but I mean, I got better clips now. Okay. Oops. Okay, there we go. Bouncing Baby. It's the same idea of the swing, right? We've got this baby understands resonance. He's like not even one. He knows that when this swing bounces him up, he can bounce back at the same frequency as the swing, and he can get some height. Not all babies know how to do this, so pretty cute, right? The source would be the baby's upper body, and the effect is he is able to get a really high bounce. Not a lot of babies know that. When I was a mom, I used to have to swing it with my leg while I was like trying to get ready for my day. So this baby's pretty smart. Maybe a future physicist. You're supposed to be writing this down. This is not just for me to show you pictures. The effect is a maximum bounce and using the baby's upper body. Okay. The next one I think is actually cooler than this really cute baby. So, and you guys have seen this next clip before. It's musical glasses. So let's see if I can play this musical glass clip. Oh no, I need sound. Okay. I don't know how deeply you understand my obsession with Harry Potter, but I was pretty excited to find this clip. Is that a sign? Is that a sign?
Like we can go like no way.
I'm gonna close this door and it won't have a
Like I'm probably gonna get a cold from being in the cold.
That's a total myth. That is a total myth. Okay. What is the source? What is the source of the vibration? Their fingers. As their fingers, and it's really hard to do. But you've seen it done before. Maybe you've played around with it before. But your fingers, as they go around the edge of a wine glass or a really thin surface, it can create a vibration. If it's at the exact resonance of that cup, and it changes resonance depending on the water that's inside of it, then you get your really beautiful kind of pitch. And so it creates this sound by creating vibrations in the air. So your source is the finger on the cup, and then it vibrates the air around it to create that really beautiful pitch. Okay, next up is singing wires.
These sounds, produced by the wind acting on the wire, are another effect of resonance. These wires sing their song by vibrating at their natural frequency. Because, to make some rather simple music, the airflow around a taut wire creates some rather complex patterns. Perhaps telephone wires only really sing in mystery stories, in fiction, where their eerie lyric harmonizes with the howling wind. But should telephone wires ever sing in fact, their song will be a composition of the phenomenon of resonance and the ever-present wind.
Source is the wind.
In high winds, normally stable airflow around the cylinder, this wire, for example, becomes unstable. As the wind tries to close up the gap on the downwind side of the wire to prevent a vacuum, eddies start to form. Soon, the eddies start peeling off and running into downstream wave, creating a predictable flow pattern. Every time the vortex peels off, it gives the wire a little push. At a certain wind speed, the vortices start peeling off at a resonant frequency of the wire, setting it into motion. This effect is called an aeolian harp. The skill it would take to tune these strings was handed down from the Aeolians, the ancient Greek tribes which settled on and around the coast of Asia Minor. But the skill it takes to play the Aeolian harp comes from the magic fingers of the wind. When air blows across the strings, the principle of the Aeolian harp becomes phenomenon called resonance explains the dramatic song of wires in the wind. Perhaps, among other things, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge was the most spectacular aeolian harp in history.
So the aeolian harp, it creates an effect. The effect it creates is kind of this beautiful tone when the wind is able to flow at the exact frequency of that specific string or those strings. So it has to be a perfect frequency. It's the same idea, except this time instead of a harp, or instead of a string or a wire, it's an actual bridge. So this next one is the event of the collapse of the Tacoma Bridge.
Tacoma Bridge, Washington, opened only a few months ago, was built at a cost of over $6 million. But misfortune overtakes the great structure. These are some of the most amazing pictures ever recorded by a newsreel. The actual collapse of the world's third largest suspension bridge. Only a 35-mile-an-hour wind is blowing, but this apparently sets up a rhythmic swinging of the bridge, which increases with each swing.
Amplitude, constructive interference.
Finally, the swinging road and the suspension cables give way and plunge into the water below. Fortunately, the only casualties were a car stalled on the bridge and a dog.
So they lost the dog, unfortunately. The guy tried to save the dog, and the dog was so freaked out that it started biting him. So, I mean, he had to abandon it. But that was the only casualty, luckily. So, maximum amplitude. They build bridges a lot differently now. But it's because of the very specific speed in which the wind was blowing that bridge was the resonance or the natural frequency of the bridge itself. So this is really cool, and I have one of these. I just couldn't get it to work, so I'm just going to show you the video instead. This is called the Singing Bowl, and it's got some really cool effects too. So they created the vibration first by hitting it, continue that sound with kind of like your finger on the rim of a wine glass, continue that vibration with the perfect kind of motion around the bowl. And this one is really cool. They're called Faraday's waves. Were you able to see it in the water? I think it's in this next one. Yeah, there's Faraday's waves. the water has surface tension, and somehow those little water kind of little balls are able to float on the surface somehow. So Faraday's waves. So we've got the vibration of the bowl interacting with the vibration of that stick kind of revolving around it. The effect is the beautiful pitch that you hear and the waves that you see inside the bowl from the water. Ooh, and then this is, I only have two more. This one I just added for fun, but the next one is really the one you're supposed to take notes on. All right, you've seen this. Well, if you haven't watched Harry Potter, I don't know if we can be friends, but I'm assuming you've seen this clip.
Just all let me in. What you gonna make of? Amazing! My morning! What you not made of? Right.
Okay, so do you guys really think that's possible? No? Yes? How is it possible? Let's check it out.
My name's Chase, and I live in California, and I'm gonna try
That's a
to live
parrot.
this wine glass by only my voice.
Parrot?
It's a parrot.
She's a parrot.
Oh no. The reason why he has a straw in there is to see the frequency. It lets him know that he has the right tone.
Mom, I broke it! Look it! I did! I broke the glass! I broke the glass, people! Look it! I broke the glass! I broke the glass with my voice! Isn't that just crazy?
I feel like the best his reaction is the best part. So the source of the vibration was his voice, and the effect was he was able to actually break that wine glass. He gave that glass maximum amplitude, so it vibrated so much that it was able to break. And that's what the straw was for, because it let him know that he had the right tone when he saw that straw starting to vibrate.
Does it have to be like that exact kind of pitch?
It has to be
Like,
the perfect pitch.
maybe like a high pitched like.
Yeah, he didn't even have a high pitch, right?
Yeah.
Each glass has its own resonance or natural frequency, and he used the straw to figure out what that pitch was for that glass. So it was pretty, I don't know if that's really a possible thing. How many do you guys have? You don't have to put these on there. You can cross out the last two boxes, but I did have a couple more demos. I have 3 different lengths of metal and then a block on top. They each have their own natural frequency. So if I shake it back and forth, you're gonna see which block has the natural frequency in which I'm shaking it. If I do it a little faster, if I don't hit myself, this is the natural frequency of block 2, and then natural frequency of block 1. So notice how each one has their own natural frequency, and once you get it there, it's going to move at its maximum amplitude. That's why that bridge collapsed, because it just happened that the wind had that natural frequency. We have these head scratchers. They're actually really relaxing, and I like to, at the end of the day. Just use these, but it's a perfect example of resonance. Anyway, and then if I do the bigger one, you're gonna see all the longer metal pieces vibrate. And then when that stops, again, all the small ones. They have a natural frequency of each other. And then we've got these whirly tubes that create music. As the wind travels through them at the perfect frequency, you get these pitches. You can get them higher the higher you spin them. I'm not that quick or strong. So these are things that I pulled out if you want to play with them for the last 5 minutes. And I even have little wine glasses if you want to play around with trying to make some music with them. Is that sound waves have a very specific speed. I think your book uses 340 meters per second. Is that what it uses? So more exact is 343, but we're going to use 340 as the speed of sound. All right, homework, more notes, you're welcome. And physics homework, 5 dash, what is it, 5-5 now? And then you hopefully finish worksheet 2, but your homework is to correct that at home as well. This concept seemed to be a struggle, but once students understood that frequency is the number of waves over time, and period is the number of, or the amount of time per number of waves, then the rest was pretty easy from there.